Hey, listen, just want to welcome everyone. I'm excited about this meeting. And, I was just thinking about, I'm near Athens, Georgia. Y'all know where the university is located, right, Riley and all? And the only better place I could even imagine would probably be in Stillwater today. And, I've worked with the secretary for over 20 years. And, this summit today, and I was looking at the lineup and looking at all the great leaders, is so important. And I think during this really tough time that we're in, the fact that we're reaching out to communities to really connect resources, with the great challenges we have. And Oklahoma, a lot like Georgia, we're a very rural state. And, we talk a lot about at USDA, the acres of diamonds that are in rural America and the young people that we work with. So I just want to say congratulations, and Lee and all for putting this together. I want to bring, I don't know if Jackie's on, before I bring Riley up, because I want to talk about him just for a second, and then we'll move on to the great meeting. But Jackie, are you on?
I am, sir. How are you? How is everyone?
Just wanted to, before I bring you, Jackie, Jackie and I started, we put together these first summits almost 2 years ago. Jackie is a graduate of Alcorn State, and, we did our first summit there at Alcorn. And I know we got Langston, and, we got Muskogee Nation and Oklahoma State, our great land grants. And at that, and really that first function that we had, and right now Mississippi has a state prosperity council that we're working with, but Jackie was so instrumental in putting that together, and she's our deputy. And so, Jackie, if you don't mind saying a few words, and I'm gonna effectively bring Riley in and let him run the show, okay? After you talk. So here's our deputy director, Jackie.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you for the opportunity. And I want to give a shout out to Riley, who has just taken on this initiative and pushed forth and put together a great agenda for this summit. We at USDA are here to serve. We are the People's Department, and we have resources through our agencies and offices that can change the life of anyone in this country. Through the Department of Agriculture, we touch the lives of every living thing on earth. And we are excited about this opportunity to share those opportunities that can really bring hope and prosperity to your communities. We put together a platform and a process working with our institutions of higher learning and our nonprofits, but we're also bringing in our faith-based communities as major partners in everything that we're doing. And with the help of this combined partnership to include our private sector folks, I don't want to leave them out. We are looking to really create communities that are sustainable, both environmentally and economically. So, through the programs that the federal government offers, in particularly USDA, there's a lot of hope there. So, our core mission is to foster hope and opportunity, build assets, and create wealth. And through our summits and workshops, this platform and process that we put together, that's just what we are planning to do. So, welcome to the Oklahoma Community Prosperity Summit, and we are here to serve.
Thanks, Jackie, and thanks, Mike. I will follow our Deputy and Director of the Office of Partnerships and Public Engagement by welcoming you also to the virtual Oklahoma Community Prosperity Summit today. Thanks for getting up early and logging in as we talk about wealth and asset building and creating hope and opportunity for communities all across the country. I want to give a special shout out to the Oklahoma Department of Ag, Food, and Forestry, and of course our team of USDA there in Oklahoma for making this such a great event. Community Prosperity Summits, as you know, are a part of the Centers of Community Prosperity work that Secretary Perdue launched last fall. It's a series of workshops and summits all across the country where we believe in locally driven, bottom-up solutions to some of our challenges, our greatest challenges in communities all across the country. And so this Oklahoma event is just one of many virtual and in-person events that we're hosting all across the country to make sure that we're hearing from community members alike and answering their questions about USDA resources and the resources available to them across the federal and private sectors. I'm Riley Pagett, Chief of Staff at the Office of Partnerships and Public Engagement here at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I'm originally from Woodward, Oklahoma, so proud to be hosting this event today with all of you and excited to have you. My dad is on the call, so grew up on a cow-calf operation. He's here today, and so many producers that we've worked with in the state of Oklahoma have joined us today, and so it's an honor for you to be here. I want to give a special shout out to Arnetta and Eric Cotton, who have been with us since the get-go and who are also on the call, making sure that we're all sharing the good work of USDA programs. Speaking of other people on the call, certainly want to thank the staff of Representative Frank D. Lucas, of course, Oklahoma's 3rd District. They're making sure that Stillwater and Langston are all represented, and glad that you guys are here today. Thanks again to ODAF and USDA. But before we begin, I just want to send a quick reminder to place yourselves on mute. You only come off mute if you have a question for our presenters, of course, which we want you to feel comfortable coming off of mute and asking questions. This is an open dialogue, and also remind you that this is a recorded virtual seminar, and so we're hoping to use this for training purposes with our other liaisons across the country that will be hosting similar summits, and also for our website for public use. And so just wanted to remind you that that is recorded, and we'll make several recommendations and reminders throughout the day. Without further ado, want to recognize the real star of the show at USDA Rural Development there in Oklahoma, State Director of Rural Development, and someone that many of you already know, Lee Denney.
Thank you so much, Riley, and Coach, thank you, and Jackie, thank you for all those kind words. Very excited that everyone's joining us today for this virtual Oklahoma Community Prosperity Summit. And as he said, I'm the State Director for Oklahoma for USDA Rural Development. And rural development is basically the strategic, economic, and community development arm of the USDA. I think sometimes we're a well-kept secret, and so that's part of my reasoning for being on today, to tell you what we have to offer. Almost before I was in this position, I knew rural development existed, but I certainly didn't know everything it did. And you know, we have programs for communities and nonprofits. We have programs for tribes. We have programs for individuals. We have programs for developers. We have programs for lenders. We have programs for businesses, and we have programs for utilities. And just real fast before I talk about COVID, I wanted to tell you about our 4 mission areas and what they cover. One of our most important mission areas is community facilities. And we give loans and grants and loan guarantees for just what it says: community buildings, libraries, city halls, community event centers, police stations, fire stations, and the equipment that might go in these facilities. We also, under community facilities, give water and wastewater treatment grants. And so these are very vital to the infrastructure of our rural communities. Under business and industry, we give loans and guarantees and grants to people who want to develop their own business in a rural part of the state. We also have our electric program and our broadband program under our business and industry area. We have a single family housing program. We think it's very important to get our rural residents into home ownership. So we loan 100% guaranteed or direct loan to these individuals for a low interest rate and a long term. And then we also have multifamily housing, which is apartment style living for the low and the very low, because at Rural Development, we believe these individuals need safe, sanitary, and decent housing. So we provide that for them. And then, as we've stated earlier, all these virtual meetings and school being online, Congress has decided that rural development will help expand broadband into rural parts of the nation, and in our case, across Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, you'll hear later today about how fortunate Oklahoma's been in receiving these dollars to expand broadband. We also have distance learning grants and telemedicine grants, which have also become vitally important during this COVID-19 time. But I basically want to share with you a little bit about what USDA Rural Development has done. And so if we'll advance the slide, please. Okay, go on to the next slide so we can talk about our Federal Rural Resource Guide. One more.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Go back.
This is the fun part of a virtual meeting. Thank you, perfect. If you'll notice on the screen, you'll see the cover slide of our COVID-19. Excuse me, Riley, did you? You okay? Okay, you'll see the cover slide of our COVID-19 Federal Resource Guide. And Rural Development has put this together for rural residents. And this is an excellent guide for so many reasons. And you can see the link at the bottom of the page. But in this resource guide, you will find every resource that's available for rural Oklahoma, not just from Rural Development, but from every federal agency across the spectrum. So if you have a for-profit business, there are all the links and all the agencies that you may need to contact for either technical assistance or financial assistance, or just local resources that you might want to use. If you're an ag producer, the same goes. We have the technical assistance websites for you. We also have any that where you might get some financial assistance. If you're with a state, local, county, government, we have the resources available for you, financial assistance during these times, general local resources, and any technical assistance. And the same goes for nonprofits and cooperatives, such as our electric cooperatives, and things like SBA, paycheck protection programs in here, food and nutrition, anything under USDA, all these resources are in here. If you're working with a rural hospital, the resources for if you're a hospital that needs some help are in here, as well as our tribal members. And then the cool thing, I don't know if you've worked with the federal government very much, but on the very last page, there's a resource guide of all the acronyms. I don't know anyone that has more acronyms than the federal government. So on the very back page is kind of a dictionary of all the acronyms and what they mean, so you'll know which agency you're actually contacting when you look at this resource guide. So I encourage you all to go to this link and get this resource guide and look at it, and it may give you the help you need. One other thing that Rural Development is doing that we've never had this opportunity to do before, under our business and industry program, due to the CARES Act, we've been given $26 million in loan guarantees for rural businesses. And these are businesses that would have to be in place February 15th in 2020. So if you have a business that has capital needs that has suffered during this pandemic, we encourage you to come to Rural Development, to our business and industry program area, and get some help. But I said the cool thing about this because we've also been given permission to help ag producers. And never before have we been able to help ag producers. That's usually given to FSA, which you'll meet Mr. Biggs here in a minute. But so ag producers that might not qualify for FSA loans and grants may qualify for the money or for funding under our B&I CARES Act. And again, these are to help you to keep your business going during this pandemic. And again, the only stipulation is that you were in business on February 15th, 2020. And then we would like to talk to you as a producer and help you through this. 90% guaranteed loan with a 10-year life of the loan. We can defer interest on this loan for up to a year, and we can defer a principal payment for up to 3 years. So this is an excellent program. The deadline's coming up at the end of this month. So if you have a need for this, I sure hope that you will contact us and get with us. And those are what we have to offer during this pandemic area. In our single family housing area, we have not evicted people. We have given them grace. We have also in our multifamily housing, we're keeping people in their houses, in their apartments, and keeping them safe through this pandemic. And we will work with them after this is over to keep them in safe, sanitary, and decent housing. And that's the goal for Rural Development. We believe strongly in the rural way of life. We believe in supporting the rural workforce. We believe in expanding connectivity. And then we also believe in expanding rural economic development so our citizens can live where they want to live. If they choose the rural way of life, we want to provide the opportunities for them to be successful where they don't have to commute to an urban or suburban area, and they can stay and enjoy the rural way of life. And so I thank you very much. And at this time, I want to introduce you to Scott Biggs, a good friend of mine. We work across the hall from each other in the Stillwater office in Stillwater. He's the State Executive Director with USDA Farm Service Agency. And so Scott, at this time, I will turn it over to you.
Sounds great. Thank you, Dr. Denney, and thank you for letting everybody know what rural development is definitely doing in Oklahoma. You've been making a difference, and appreciate that. And Riley, Coach, Jackie, thank you all for inviting me this morning. I appreciate the opportunity to address everybody. I must say, I know one of the goals with this program is to make connections, and just scrolling through the participants list and looking at the 90-some people on here, you're definitely putting the people in the place where they need to be. I know you've got quite a lineup coming up today from Dean Kuhn, Dean Risco, Secretary Arthur. These are the people that you all need to hear from, and I appreciate the opportunity to be joined in that crew. So, like Dr. Denney said, I'm with the Farm Service Agency, and I want to take a few minutes and let you know what we do, what we have available, and what we can do to get you some services from the Farm Service Agency. Now, I only have 10 minutes, and I don't have a lot of time for questions and answers, but I see the chat is up and running. So if you do have a question, by all means, please type it in there, and I'll be more than happy to make sure those get answered. But the Farm Service Agency in Oklahoma is something we have a presence in every county across the state. So on behalf of the 350 employees that work day in and day out for the Farm Service Agency, we are here to help you, and we want to help you. So I want to touch on 3 things in my time this morning, and hopefully one of these 3 is something you may have an interest in and something we can help you with. First is farm loans. So the Farm Service Agency here in Oklahoma leads the nation when it comes to having and providing access to capital to farmers and ranchers from across the state. Currently, right now, we have over $2 billion in our portfolio, ranging from a $5,000 youth loan. We are one of the only lenders that will actually give a youth loan to a youth that's engaged in some type of 4-H, FFA, or tribal program as a learning experience to further their agricultural experience. So we lead the nation in youth loans, farm ownership loans, from the beginning farmer and rancher to someone looking to expand their operation. We have programs available for that, as well as guaranteed loans. We work hand in hand with a number of local lenders across the state to do a guaranteed loan, similar to Dr. Denney's program. We have a guaranteed program as well. But one of the other things we do quite well here in Oklahoma is a partnership. So we like to go in and partner with the local banks, partner with you, and we do a lot of lending where the local bank will do 50%, and we can do the other 50%, or we can do 45%. And we have a lot of programs where we partner and provide that much needed capital to rural Oklahoma. So first thing that you need to touch on is, remember, we are here to help you with that farm loan. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out. Like I said, we have 350 employees and 58 offices and a presence in every county. We'll be more than happy to get you in the right place if you have any need for capital or any interest in a farm loan program. The second thing I need to touch base on is our second prong, our second avenue, which is in farm programs. So FSA here in Oklahoma, we have farm loans on one hand, and then on the other side, we have farm programs. And those are what people traditionally think about as our safety net programs, a type of crop insurance, if you would. Those are what you hear when you hear ARC PLC, NAP. Those are programs that we offer for traditional farmers, specialty farmers. We're getting in some urban farming as well. So we offer a type of insurance program through NAP, where if you're unable to get crop insurance through a regular source, we can provide you NAP insurance on your commodity And we're doing that all over the state. We're seeing a tremendous amount of NAP activity, even from Oklahoma City and Tulsa with some of these new urban farms and specialty farms. So the NAP program is definitely up and running. And then you have the more traditional, the ARC PLC, the more safety net programs geared toward row crops, your traditional crops, corn, soybeans, sorghum here in Oklahoma, which Oklahoma is always busy in those programs. We have those available. But we also have a number of livestock programs, and those are the few things we're going to touch on. So Oklahoma is no stranger to disasters, so we have a tremendous amount of disaster programs, especially surrounding our livestock. So we have a livestock forage program where if we're in a drought, similar to like what we just got out of with that amazing rainstorm over the weekend, but we didn't get that rain, LFP would be triggering for most of the state, and we would be helping provide a forage to those cattle, to those livestock to help get you through this tough time. The other thing is we have some indemnity programs. If a natural disaster hits or something happens, you have a loss of some of your livestock, we have a program to help get you back on your feet and get you going there, the livestock indemnity program. So the second thing I hope you take away is we have a number of farm programs that can cover about anything you can imagine, from specialty crops, urban agriculture, to the traditional row crops and livestock. Our farm programs are extremely busy, and we'll be more than happy to see if there's something that fits your need there. The main thing I've been asked to talk about, and probably why everybody is tuning in a little bit, is about our CFAP program. So CFAP is our newest program here at FSA. We're 5 weeks into it. CFAP is the Corona Food Assistance Program. So what we have done here at USDA and the Farm Service Agency is we have taken some CARES money from the CARES Act that the Congress passed, as well as taken some additional funds that we had made available to us, and to create a new program to help the struggling farmers and ranchers at this time. So the CARES funding and the CCC funding can provide payments to their traditional row crops, the specialty crops, and to livestock. And I have to brag on my alma mater a little bit because the CFAP program borrows from something that Oklahoma State University and Extension had done, and that the ARC PLC, they developed an amazing Excel spreadsheet to help producers decide which program to pick. We've actually borrowed their ideal, and for CFAP nationwide have rolled out an Excel spreadsheet as a tool to help farmers and ranchers figure out how best to use this program. So this program is definitely unique in that it's being delivered mainly remotely, but we do have this amazing tool, this Excel tool, that should help producers walk you through the process quite simply. So some of the things that CFAP covers, the number one thing, especially here in Oklahoma, is livestock. So I want to focus on this. We are anticipating about 35,000 livestock applications for CFAP. Currently, right now, week 5, we are sitting at 17,000. So there's about 17,000 eligible producers across the state who have yet to apply for benefits. And my hope and my goal is to reach as many of that 17,000 as we can, because Oklahoma deserves to have every access to this funds as everyone else. So if you have any type of livestock, if you had livestock January 15th, if you had livestock April 15th, please contact our office. Let us walk you through the process, see what we can do. Unfortunately, at this time, we are still not allowing visitors or producers into the office, but we are doing everything remotely. Thanks to Dr. Denney and rural broadband, and most of my employees are teleworking and have access to their phone, have access to their email, and we can walk you through the process. So I want to stress, we are here. We just need to hear from you. We need you to talk to us, and we can help you through this program. So CFAP, very simple. There's an Excel tool. I see Megan has been kind enough to put the link in there in the chat. We also have a 1-877 number. I won't say 1-800 because it is toll free. If you call that, FSA has a call center online. We actually have 5 people here in the state office in Oklahoma that staff that call center. So you're talking to someone locally to help answer your questions. So I know I'm pushing my time. I just want to recap the 3 things that I hope you take away from this event today is number 1, farm loans. If you have any need to have access to capital, FSA is here to help you. 2 is farm programs. We're available from crop insurance to the traditional programs, safety net programs. And then 3, and most importantly, is CFAP, Corona Food Assistance Program. If you have any interest in that at all, I need you to contact one of our local offices, reach out, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through that process. So once again, on behalf of the 350 employees with FSA in Oklahoma, thank you for your joining the call this morning. And it's now my privilege, stay on time, and to introduce NRCS State Conservationist Gary O'Neill. Mr. O'Neill, phone here. And,
thank you.
Programs.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Neill.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I've had some technical difficulties tomorrow, so I'm doing it by phone. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I have a few slides to go through, and hopefully we can stay on the same slide that I'm talking on. So again, thank you to Riley and Jackie for including NRCS. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the programs and assistance that we have available through USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. I am the state conservationist here in Oklahoma, native of Oklahoma, a graduate of Oklahoma State. If we go to the second slide, it talks a little bit about addressing resource concerns on private lands, and that's really the mission of NRCS. And in Oklahoma, we have a lot of diversity with climate, soils, geology, and the type of ag operations that we have. And so we have a lot of diversity in the kind of resource concerns that we help landowners address with the variety and variability that we have with weather and different things. That creates a lot of opportunities for different resource concerns. Going to the next slide, conservation planning is really the start of our technical assistance. We have staff that can provide that kind of assistance, go out and walk the land with the landowner, identify what resource concerns might be present out there through some of our tools that we have, and then come up with practices and come up with some solutions that the landowner might want to look at that fits their goals and their objectives for the land. And so that first step, that conservation technical assistance, sometimes is all what a landowner might be looking for, just some help, some guidance, maybe some design, some different practice standards, and then they just want to go do that stuff or do that work themselves. Others might want to take advantage of some of the financial assistance that we have through Farm Bill programs. And if we go to the next slide, one of our bigger technical financial assistance programs we have is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP. And in Oklahoma, we normally receive $20 to $25 million of EQIP funds per year. This program has a continuous sign up. You can go into any of our field offices any time of the year and sign up for that program. We do a ranking period every year where we'll stop taking new applications and rank all those at the time that we receive, and then we make funding decisions based on that ranking. As you can see, there's a lot of different things that we can do with that program. If you have land that you're trying to address some problems with, maybe it's a new piece of land you purchased and you want to address some of the conservation issues, EQIP is a program that can help you do that. And you see all kinds of farmers and ranchers are eligible. We work very closely with FSA to help us determine some of the eligibility issues with Farm Bill programs. And there's a great opportunity to be able to apply for that program and receive financial assistance. There is a ranking process, and if you are funded, you'll receive a contract, and we provide funds for different conservation practices through EQIP. So it's a popular program, and one that can help you address issues on your land. I wanted to mention another program, the Conservation Stewardship Program, or CSP, another very popular program in Oklahoma. We have more than 6,000 contracts that we administer every year. They're 5-year contracts. This program is really ideally suited for a landowner that has done some work, addressed some of the basic issues, and they want to take their land to a higher level of conservation. And so you receive a payment through those 5 years for the work that you've already done, the stewardship you've completed, but then you're also agreed to do some additional activities, enhancements to even increase the level of conservation. Again, this program has much of the same eligibility requirements as EQIP, and it's a continuous sign-up. And right now we're going through applications and ranking those, and we'll be making funding decisions here in the next month to 6 weeks on contracts for this fiscal year. And a program that has helped landowners move to different things like soil health, maybe cover crops, things like that, or advanced grazing systems, some of those higher level of conservation activities is something that CSP can help landowners do. I also wanted to mention our easement programs. This sometimes is not mentioned as much, but we have several different easement programs. The agricultural land easement is programs that will help protect pristine grassland areas. It'll help protect land from future development, or maybe a special species that we're trying to provide assistance to. There's opportunities for certain different easements. We also have the wetland reserve easement, a program where we'll take a land that used to be farmed and cropped, and we'll restore it back to a wetland condition. Oklahoma has 323 of these easements scattered around the state for over 82,000 acres that we manage and help landowners maintain. Landowners continue to own the land, but we purchase a perpetual easement through these programs. So that's another program that sometimes people forget about, but there's some great opportunities, and a lot of landowners have had great conservation success through some of our easement programs. Since this is a rural prosperity conference, I didn't want to not mention our watershed program. Oklahoma leads the country with more than 20% of the nation's upstream flood control dams. We have over 2,100 of them, and these important infrastructure provides really good benefits to rural communities across our state. Many of them provide recreational benefits, flood protection, but also rural water supplies. So there is new funding for this program in the new Farm Bill, and we're very competitive here in Oklahoma. We're actually working on a new dam down in Love County right now, and so we think there's some great opportunities for communities to reap some of the benefits from these kind of infrastructure. I wanted to go to the next slide where it talks a little bit about how big this program is in our state. It's a $2 billion infrastructure out there that people don't even know sometimes exists. On an average annual year, that infrastructure provides $96 million of flood protection and benefits to our state, which is really, really important. So I did want to mention that there's new funding. If a community has those kind of interests, conservation districts are our sponsors for these structures. The Oklahoma Conservation Commission helps implement that, and we're excited about the future and opportunities in our flood control program, and think there's some great opportunities, especially in the area of rural water supplies. We have 38 of those right now that are set up that way, and we think there's more opportunity for that. My last slide is our field structure. Like Scott mentioned, we have a presence in every county. We're co-located with FSA and RD, and also conservation districts in our state. We are set up in teams right now. We have 21 teams that have a local district conservationist. This gave us more flexibility on some of our staffing issues, and we're excited about that structure. But my contact information is on this slide. If you have any issues, you have needs for conservation assistance, please reach out to one of our local offices or reach out to me, and we'll get you connected with some of our staff and start that process. We think there's great opportunities to utilize this kind of assistance in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's always been a leader when it comes to conservation, all the way back to the Dust Bowl days. So thank you for the opportunity this morning, and appreciate all of you spending time to learn a little more about what USDA has to offer here in Oklahoma. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary and Scott and Lee. Certainly appreciate you all taking great strides to inform folks of the good stuff going on in your offices this morning. We have a little bit of time for question and answer. And so for those of you who are listening in, if you've got a question and you'd like to send it over to the group chat, you may do that now. Or if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask away, then we've got a few minutes that Lee and Scott and Gary are open for questions. So feel free to, again, send it over to chat or unmute yourself now.
Okay.
Hey, Riley, I do want to say thanks to Gary. It's been a while since we've spoken, Gary. How are you all?
Very good. Thank you. Very good. Good to hear your voice.
Same here.
Rick Nelson, I see that you went off mute for a second. Did you have a question you'd like to ask the group?
No.
Okay, good enough for me. That must mean their presentations were good. Well, hey, FSA and RD and NRCS are certainly available. If you have questions, you can relay them to us and we will get them to the right people. But thanks again, Scott and Gary and Lee, for your participation and for co-hosting this with us today. Wouldn't have been possible without y'all. We appreciate the heck out of you. All right, with that being said, we are taking our first break of the day. And so we will come back here at 9:30 a.m. I would suggest that when you take a break, you not lose your connection. So you stay logged in. You can put your video on the X mark and your mute button on mute, of course. And just to maintain that technological connection. And then we'll join back here at 9:30 to discuss our next presenters. We're excited to have them as well. So again, we'll join back in about 15 minutes.